to another edition of the Big and Blizz podcast. Big Mike, I think we're on episode 9. Am I mistaken? Are we in episode 9?
We're on 9.
Ooh, we're almost double digits. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I would say next week will be the double digits. And then, if you've been here since day one, that's a big feat. That's almost 3 months worth of...
There's a few of you that are diehard, Big and Blizz, whatever. We don't have a pet name for anybody. I don't know if we ever will. Hopefully, it'd be kind of cool for merch. Again, sitting across from me is Big Mike, and I'm your boy Blizzy, aka Big and Blizz. As usual, like, subscribe, share, all that bullshit. Turn on notifications depending on what platform you're listening or watching to. Shout out to our German listeners and viewers on YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, all that shit. Shout out to our German listeners and viewers. You make up, a percentage of our views and listens. But we got to get into fight news. The UFC, some banging, all that shit. McGregor
cockfight.
Yeah, right? Pretty much.
They refer to it as human cockfight.
Yeah, well, the fucking old whites in the government, right? In Congress. McGregor versus Poirier, and I hope I pronounced that right. I know I have an issue pronouncing that. Number 3. So I believe number 1, McGregor knocked him out within like 2 rounds, predicted that shit. Fight 2, Poirier ended up TKOing McGregor, which wasn't that long ago, like a year ago. And we have the third fight coming up. That's tomorrow, right? I believe it's tomorrow. Saturday. We're recording, Friday night. I believe it's tomorrow, which is Saturday night. But the crazy thing is, I watched the whole. I think it was on YouTube. The Showtime, countdown to the fight where they do the behind the scenes and stuff. And the first fight, McGregor was,
Just real fast, sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
The first one lasted 1 minute and 46 seconds.
And he knocked him out, right? Knocked him the fuck out.
McGregor emerged victorious via
and he
knockout.
beat his ass. Mm-hmm. The second one went a few rounds, and Poirier got a TKO. But the first fight, McGregor was talking his shit. You know how he does with that fucking strut and all that shit. Talking a gang of shit, and this is from what Poirier said, got in his head, and that's a big part of him, the outcome of the fight. And I believe that. People don't understand, like, the mental game is a huge aspect of a fight, Physicality is I'd say, 80-85%. The other 15 or 20% is mental. It's mental. Because you could be defeated as soon as you step in the octagon or the ring, or even before. And if you're defeated...
It's not even just boxing or UFC that happens to. I mean... We know plenty of shit talkers in every sport that can do that to people where they
100%.
Look, as soon as they strap up, it's over already.
Well, Gilbert Arenas on the free throw line, where was it LeBron came up and told him, "Hey, if you miss this, we win," and he missed 2 free throws in a row. And Gilbert Arenas was historically great free throw shooter.
Great shooter in general.
Yeah, no, 100%. Agent. Yeah, we've talked about Agent Zero, Hibachi, in I think the first or second episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
And he's like one of my spirit animals. I get it, he's not an animal, but I love Gilbert Arenas' personality. But the second fight, McGregor all of a sudden was very humble. This is after the Mayweather fight. He was very nice. He didn't talk any shit to Poirier, even in the press conferences. Poirier has his own hot sauce. He's from Louisiana. Shout out to the boot. And McGregor even on stage with his microphone, and the press was like, "Hey, I need a bottle of that hot sauce," and he was giving him daps, saying how good of a fighter he was. And then when they got in the ring, you didn't see the animal like you didn't see it in press conferences, and he got fucked up. Well, he's back to his antics. Do you want to tell the listeners what happened?
My question first, before I say that, is, do you think fighting Mayweather humbled him for a second?
No, I think it made him a rich motherfucker.
What I'm saying is because he went from being this
cocky,
over the top,
eccentric,
trying to get so much attention because he needed money. Because if you don't know his story, he came from nothing.
Humble beginnings,
like
poverty.
His wife,
Ireland.
when they started dating, they were like on assistance and shit like that.
They were on welfare in Ireland,
and like. They did everything they could just to be able to get him to be able to train and eat the way he needed to be able to eat.
Yep. Everything went into...
And so do you think once he got that money, he thought, okay, maybe... Because because people like his wife and stuff say that the Conor we see isn't the real Conor.
No, 100%. It's a persona.
And
It's
so do you
entertainment.
think when he got all that money and he was like, "Mama, I made it," he kind of tried to pull back and become the real Conor?
I don't know. It could be a combination. I could see that.
You see, that was just when you said that. That's just my thought. Like,
Yeah.
because you don't go from being
Billy Badass on the
fuck
block.
your mom, your grandma, and your sister too,
Literally and figuratively.
throwing fucking shit into people's buses.
Yeah, it could be.
To, hey bro, hey, look, can I try that shit your company's putting out?
Yeah, I'll buy it. He donate. He, and that's a big topic of what the drama is right now, and I'll get into that. So, I don't know. Maybe he just got that money and was like, yeah, like you said, yeah, pretty much. I think it might have humbled him. He got,
Well, I don't know about humbled, but it got him to that point where he was like,
He didn't
I
know-
don't need to be fake anymore.
he turned down fights. He said he retired from the UFC again, saying I don't need this. Like I'm rich, bitch. You know.
Yeah.
Like I don't need this. I mean, you think about this: a high ticket fucking fight in the UFC, the championship fight before McGregor was what the purse for the winner, a couple million, a few million.
I think at one point Anderson Silva said, because he was the highest paid guy for a
It
while.
wasn't much.
He said without endorsements,
Mm-hmm.
he wasn't clearing $1 million on a fight night. On
Yeah.
a winning championship fight night, wasn't clearing $1 million.
Yeah.
With endorsements, he was around $3 million.
Which is crazy because that sport is brutal as shit. That doesn't even cover medical bills.
Well, if you think about it, McGregor runs over here and does an exhibition match with
Yeah.
boxing.
Well,
Not even one that really counts towards your record.
And what he made? He made like 90 million.
Yeah, he made
Because if I'm not mistaken, I don't think I've seen factual numbers, but I'm pretty sure Mayweather made like well over like 250 million. If
Oh, something
not
like that,
more. It was some stupid amount of cash. So you go from a sport where you literally can die in the ring, and people. I mean, they've died in both eras.
Yeah.
In both, in both sports, they're combat sports, but boxing and UFC. But UFC, you have a higher chance of getting just fucked up. Like knockouts in UFC are common. Boxing, not as much, But so you go from making say because McGregor did.
He
turn
was the
everything on its
echelon.
head.
He was the upper echelon.
With his personality, he brought viewers in to the sport, just like MJ brought viewers in to NBA and revolutionized shit. So I think maybe at one point, I think I heard that he was making $4 million for a win, like $2 million even if he lost, just stepping in the ring.
So what I'm just for
Yeah,
you-
going over to the boxing ring for an a play fight.
Yeah.
And making fucking 90 or 100 million.
That's what I'm saying. So on a good night, say on a good night, championship knocks a dude out, gets his win, gets say fight of the night because they get bonuses for
Oh, yeah,
that shit.
100%.
Gets fight of the night and knockout of the night, makes $5 million
But yeah,
on a good night.
yeah.
Like that's on a
that's a
perfect.
great night.
And he can go over here and dance around with
Just
Floyd Mayweather
Dabble.
and get hit
Yeah.
and give some hits and whatever.
He did a lot better than than most gave him thought he would. But I mean,
Oh,
Mayweather. Let's be real. Even though it's
The
a lot of people
question-
agree with that. I think he's probably being 50-0 was probably the best fighter.
Well, my thing is, Mayweather take that fight if he wasn't making $200 million? No.
250, and that fight was sanctioned.
Yeah.
So it did go on Mayweather's record, but I think he knew that he had the upper hand, could beat McGregor in a boxing match, and he wanted that perfect 5-0.
Yeah.
He 49 or whatever and 0. It's a great number. Don't get me wrong, but me, I've got OCD. Obviously I have Tourette's as well. I'm sure you guys have heard my tics on the podcast, but my OCD especially. 49 is not a rounded number. I'd rather go out with 50-0. But either way, this shit was crazy. So he came back, let's say humbled, at least a little bit, and got worked. He came out as a nice guy, and in the ring, he looked like a nice guy and got worked. Not saying it's a bad thing, because there are some fighters that are just nice guys that fucking throw bows. But this time, he's back to his old ways. And it goes from when he was a nice guy. Poirier has a benefit. He's got a charity in Lafayette, Louisiana, where he's from. And I can't remember. Can you look up the name for me, Mike, if you don't mind? The name of Dustin Poirier's charity. It's Fight for Something. He does a lot. He does a lot of community service and giving back to the community. Well, Conor had
It's called the Good Fight Foundation.
the Good Fight Foundation. Thank you. But he does a lot. Like Dustin is in a sense he's a nice guy. You know, does a lot for his community and sick kids and this, that, and the other. But Conor had hit him up and told him he was going to donate like 250 or like some big digit number of money to the foundation. And I guess Dustin didn't ask him to, but you know, obviously was appreciative. And then he was in contact with Conor's team. Like they were on the phone emailing like every day about it. And then I can't remember what it said in the show, but something happened to where Conor's team said, "Hey, fuck you, we're not donating," in a sense. And then he went on Twitter and was like, "I didn't ask for anything." And Conor, you know, reached out to me to donate, and now he's backing out on his promise to donate to the foundation. And that sparked the old Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
He came out and went motherfucking ham and did not hold any punches, no pun intended. Like, you have some of the shit he said, or you know some of the shit he said.
Well, yeah, he first off he called Dustin's wife his husband.
And that's just recently in the you know, in the,
Yeah.
the pre-match, you know, all that shit.
Called Dustin's wife Dustin's husband.
Called him a hillbilly, white trash, this, that, and third.
And then on Twitter posted, "Your wife," Conor posted this about Dustin's wife. "Your wife wants to see the hair around my dick and balls, bro. See what that's like. It's real, the message request, mate. No trash talk, man to man. It's fucked up. I seen your interview with Mike. You think it was fake. It's not." So what McGregor is saying is that Dustin's wife DM'd him trying to see McGregor's dick.
Well, didn't that start over McGregor talk shit on Twitter, and then Dustin responding and saying something you're balding.
So it all started, like I said, McGregor had said something calling Dustin's wife the hubby, like the husband.
Yeah.
And so Dustin posted a picture of him and his, from what I can see in the picture, pretty attractive wife.
Who?
Dustin's
yes,
wife.
no, she really is. Well, so is McGregor's, but yes, her name's Terry.
And he posted this, and it says, it's an IG post, and it says, "Me and the hubby walking into the press conference, trying to make light of what Conor had said."
Yeah.
And then Conor posted a picture of himself, which it looks like an old picture of him in his UFC gloves and shorts and like a fighting stance. That's all he posted.
Okay.
And then Dustin comes back with, "Your trash talk is as thin as your hair is these days.
There you go.
See you soon, champ."
And that's where it sparked the balding or the thinning hair, and my dick and ball hair isn't thinning.
And this one is, and essentially the quote from Conor says that Dustin's wife is in Conor's DMs trying to get dick pics.
Damn.
Because it says...
That's hard to believe. He's got to show receipts.
It says, "It's real, the message request.
Oh, got you.
No trash talk. Man to man, it's fucked up. I see the interview you did with Mike." I don't know who he's referring to as Mike.
Or what the interview was. We didn't see that.
"Do you think it's fake? Trust me, it's not. Think about that when you're in the sauna."
Yeah. Do you think that if needed, that not would McGregor, but could he produce receipts? Or do you think this is his tactic of getting in his opponent's head? Because he's known to say some shit.
I think it's the Michael Jordan technique.
Yeah.
Making shit up.
Yeah.
Or what coaches refer to as whiteboard material.
Yeah.
Shit you can put on the whiteboard or the chalkboard or whatever that's going to piss you off.
Yeah. Or just like a dream board for a positive. If you want something, put a board. If you want a Lamborghini, put a picture of a Lamborghini. Have a dream board, and every day you get up, have it somewhere, like say by the mirror where you brush your teeth, and look at that shit, and subconsciously it gets embedded into your mental, and it makes you strive harder. And there's a lot of people that say their dream boards have actually come to fruition, and I don't know, it's a mental thing, but the whiteboard effect is like the dream, or the negative aspect of a dream board, or positive, how you look at it. That whiteboard, the shit talking, even if it's fake or not, if you look at it and gets your mental enough, and you believe it, I mean, it might be a negative aspect, but if it helps you win, it helps you win.
So the question is that going to piss Dustin off enough that Dustin comes in and just beats the shit out of McGregor? Or is it going to get in his head bad enough that McGregor can knock him out in a minute 46?
Well, Dustin said the first fight, McGregor's shit-talking, his antics got in his head, and he was defeated before he walked in that ring and got his ass whipped. Which is crazy for a fighter. That shows you how fucking, how nice of a guy, I guess Dustin would say, or just leaves his nose wide open for motherfuckers to climb, like McGregor to climb in it. Because why would you say that on a show that millions of people, including McGregor and his team, are going to see, and say, hey, like, that shit-talking really got to me. Unless it's a fucking strategy, you know? Like, I don't know.
Well, and see, the thing is,
Hard
like,
to say.
McGregor was, like, obviously was talking shit and said, your wife looks like your husband or whatever.
No. He never said, it wasn't about looking. It was about she runs the show.
Oh, but...
Yeah, but yes.
Dustin wasn't afraid to pop back with that
100%.
IG picture.
Yeah, 100%.
Or Twitter picture, I don't know, whatever it was.
Yeah, the picture of him and talking about his thinning hair like freaking Trae Young.
Yeah, so, I mean, I guess I applaud Dustin for saying it. Why he would say it, to me, is kind of weird because, like you said, it does leave you open for guys, not even just Conor, but other guys in the sport to be like, oh, that's all I got to do?
Yeah.
I can beat Dustin if I just call him a fucking punk?
If your mental game's strong in your fighting game or whatever. But yeah, I know that's kind of weird unless it's a strategy. I don't know.
Or it was Dustin earlier in his career, obviously.
Humble. He's still humble to this day. Humble fucking guy.
But earlier in his career, he just realized that mentally people could fuck with him.
That's true.
Because there's a point, like, some people
mature.
go through that when you're just like, you can be mentally fucked with.
Well, like in elementary, your mom, oh, you want to fight.
Yeah.
Now it's your mom, yeah, okay, yeah, we're grown, you know?
Exactly.
It could be the same thing.
Is that what happened?
Absolutely.
And now he's just poking fun at what Conor, like the whole husband reference.
Yeah, well, he did.
He poked fun at it.
He poked fun at it. He can make fun of himself now.
And are we going to see a more mature Dustin, or are we going to see get knocked the fuck out in less than 2 minutes, Dustin?
I don't think he'll get knocked the fuck out. I'm going to make a prediction right now. I say he gets at least TKO'd, if not knocked out, by round... It's championship fight, right? Is it? Wait, is it? Yeah, Poirier took his belt last when he beat him. I'm 90% sure. So that'd be 5 3-minute rounds, right?
Let me double check. But,
if it is a championship fight, I say by the third, Poirier gets at least, if not knocked out, within the third, with first, second, or third. I don't think he goes past 3. Is what I mean to say, but I'm pretty sure it's a belt fight, championship fight. Big Mike over here is
everything you need to
double
know.
checking. But either way, I really respect Dustin. I really do. I love Conor McGregor as well. Like, or his antics a little bit far, absolutely, but it's part of the sport. When you're putting your life on the line every night and you're throwing
no, actually, it's not.
Okay, so it's only 3 rounds.
There is nobody holding that title right now.
So how would you win the title then?
So because Khabib vacated the title.
Oh, because he didn't fight.
So for Poirier, the decision to face McGregor for the third time meant passing up the opportunity to fight for the title vacated by Khabib.
So who would he have to fight Khabib?
No. So when it's vacated,
that's what I'm saying. What's the title fight?
The second and third, whoever the UFC deems as the next two, the 2 and 3 guy, those guys have to fight each other.
Shouldn't that be McGregor and Poirier? Because McGregor lost it to Khabib, so in my opinion, that would be second.
Who do they think should fight?
So it's opinion or stats.
It's the UFC decides it.
That's what
obviously.
So it's more of an opinion-based answer then, right? Because McGregor lost it, so in my book, that would place him second. Because he was the holder. Until Khabib, fucking dog-walked him. Ooh, excuse me. So, if that's the case, you would think that maybe Poirier is not third, or you know what I'm saying? So they want...
Well, the way it reads is Poirier is passing up the opportunity to go after the belt.
Oh, so he is second or third.
Oh, so this is the 2 people fighting right now for it. It'll be Michael Chandler and Charles Oliveira
You see how you did, like, almost pause reading those names? Because you don't know how to pronounce
Well,
them.
that
which
was
means
March. This was in March.
They're not on the radar. Not for us, anyways. And we're not, we don't keep tabs hugely on UFC. We really don't even really speak about combat sports on here. But, I mean, this is a sports and bullshit podcast. Either way, I think that this should be a title fight. If Khabib vacated it, McGregor lost it to Khabib, then he should be the second running. You know what I'm saying? If you in a, I guess you would think, but it's not. So that means there are what, 3 3-minute rounds, or 3 5-minute rounds? 3 right?
Yeah, it should be 3-3.
Okay, so in that case, I see it ending before round 3. By halfway of round 2, I think McGregor will either knock him out or TKO him. What do you think, Big?
I think McGregor's going to win. I don't know if it's going to be a knockout, so
You think it's going to be a submission?
I think it's going to go to the decision.
You think so?
I think it's so.
Okay.
I think it's going to be as a someone who likes to watch fights but isn't super into like everything.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a good fight,
absolutely.
but I think it's going to go the distance. And so to answer the question, Charles Oliveira
Something you can't pronounce right.
defeated Chandler in the main event of UFC 262, which was held in May.
It's that one title fight.
Won the fight by TKO 19 seconds into the second round.
So it was a fight of the night, which got him on the board to fight for the...
No, that was the vacated title fight.
Oh, so he won it then?
Yeah, he won.
Okay,
so
okay, gotcha.
that guy holds the title fight.
Oh,
But
okay.
the issue was Poirier scheduling the Conor fight. Because like, obviously when you schedule a fight, it's not like, hey,
Yeah.
next week, let's
No, yeah,
duke
6
it out.
months, 8 months, a year.
So Poirier probably should have been fighting one of these two guys.
Yeah, yeah.
And he decided, nah, I want to settle the whole Conor McGregor bullshit.
Think about the payday. Win or lose, say Poirier loses the Conor fight, he's probably going to make more money than winning the belt. And I get it. The belt,
pay-per-view sales.
100%. Conor outsells anything Conor's involved in. Outsells anything with
drama
UFC.
sells.
Yeah, you're right. But Conor McGregor's name is so unanimous with
100%.
drama that he's broken records for pay-per-view pre-sales and sales. And then his next fight, broken his own records. His next fight, broken his own records.
Oh,
like Steph with the 3-point, how many, number of 3-pointers made in a single season. Steph took the record, shitted on it by like fucking at least 50, came back and shitted on his own record the next season, and the next season like shitted on that one,
Oh, yeah.
But I'm saying McGregor gets either a TKO or a KO. The very latest mid-second round. You're saying it goes decision.
I think it goes decision.
But McGregor wins it?
McGregor wins it. I think he wins it no matter what. I just think it's going to go decision.
I love McGregor as a fighter, and his personality is crazy. But I respect and I love Dustin Poirier too. So it's not really a lose-lose. It's not a win-win, but it's not a lose-lose, if that makes any sense.
Look,
But
it's one of those things where like when we were looking, we talked about the Bucks in the Eastern Conference. Like
we'll get to that.
Bucks or Hawks, we were like,
As long as the Suns don't win. And you know what? Fuck that. I was going to jump in another combat story, but since you brought that up, I've got to talk about this. I know I'm so fucking wrong on my predictions. The Suns are going to take this. If you watch...
Suns in 4.
I don't know 4. I'm going to say 5. I'm going to say 5, and god damn it, that's a spitter coming out of my mouth. Fucking weasel-ass Chris Paul's going to win one. Does he deserve one as a player? Absolutely. Does he deserve one as a person on the court? Absolutely not. As a human being in the world? Possibly. I don't know him. I don't know anything about him off the court. I've never seen any drama. I've never seen anything about him cheating on his wife or beating her or being a piece of shit parent. So, as a human being off the court, he might be the greatest guy. I don't know. On the court, he's a piece of shit. But
Not skill-wise.
no. That's what I'm saying.
We're talking like
personality.
his personality on court.
Play-wise, skill, like you're saying, skill when it comes down to fundamentals and skill of basketball, he's top 5 point guard to ever play the game, in my opinion. First ballot Hall of Famer.
Maybe even top 3 if we
True.
really broke it
True.
down.
First ballot Hall of Famer, with or without a ring. I think his first run to the Hall of Fame, because you have to be. I know the NFL, you have to be retired for 3 years to even be in the running to be Hall of Fame. Is it the same thing with the NBA?
You have to be retired for, I don't know if it's 3 years, but you have to be retired. It can't be like the year after you retire.
Yeah. Well, no, I think it is 3. And then Kobe got put on because he was so monumental in the game, and then his death happening. He was only when did he retire? 2016.
That's 4 years.
Oh, it's 5 years. The
Excuse me,
NBA.
sorry.
The NBA is 5 years. You have to be retired for 5 years.
I knew there was a certain time.
Yeah.
Frame. I knew it wasn't right
Every
after.
sport. So the NBA, you have to be retired for at least 5 years to even be on the ballot to be selected.
And I think they only do that because players unretire.
That's probably, I don't know that, but that makes sense.
In my mind,
That makes a lot of sense.
I've always thought, like, why set a number? And it's because you could look at people like Brett Favre,
Yeah.
or Jordan,
Yeah.
where if Jordan retired
Yeah, Hall of Fame. Wow.
and he went over to baseball, and then he gets inducted into the Hall of Fame and he comes back,
Yeah, doesn't make sense at all.
like you're gonna have a Hall of Fame player playing while they're in the Hall of Fame. Like,
Yeah, and you know what? That's the best logic I've ever heard in my life. Like hands down. Like I've never thought of that in my life. I don't think I've really thought of why. I just but that makes a lot of sense to me, and I've never thought about that.
And my thing is, if that is why, I don't know if that's why,
Yeah,
but
probably
it makes sense to me in my brain. That's
In
why.
mine too.
I think the other option is just say, hey, look, you're up for induction because you're Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
If we induct you, you can't come out of retirement.
yeah, and you can't tell somebody they can't. So
You know
that
what I
makes
mean?
sense,
Like,
yeah.
so it's like,
But
well,
with,
that's the thing is, say the NFL is 3 years, right? Say Tom Brady retired.
yeah.
We know he's first ballot.
Oh, 100. He's the best quarterback to ever play the game. Joe Montana, I get it. Joe Montana fans, 49er fans, but let's be real.
Yeah.
The GOAT
even
is
as
out
a-
there.
even
The
as
GOAT doesn't even ride in a Lambo. He's the GOAT. He doesn't need that,
Yeah, and I mean, even as an AFC team, like
Yeah,
Broncos
fan.
fan, and you just gotta hate him because he's always running the AFC.
God, he's always
But-
there. He's like the new LeBron, or like how LeBron is now.
But you just gotta respect it. What I'm saying is, say Brady retires, he's gonna play. But for this scenario, he retires, waits 3 years, gets inducted.
Yeah.
Can he come back?
I don't know. We'll have to look it up and talk about that in the next podcast. 'Cause
Can he come back?
I
If
don't
you're-
know. Look it up. I mean, you got the laptop in front of you. You know what I'm saying? For being real, but your logic and your opinion on that makes so much fucking sense. You feel me? But it's they probably made that rule before there was fucking Tom Brady's that could play at like 85 years old. You know what I'm saying? When people retired, they retired. Or if they retired, they gave them a couple years, they came back, whatever. But Kobe was the first player to ever not have to go through that whole time frame of whatever the sport, the contingencies were. And I get it. He passed away.
Ooh.
All that shit. Let's hear it. What's up, Mike?
So, someone asked this question on whatever sports Reddit stream, whatever I'm on. It's not Reddit, but it's some sports
Some
forum. And they said, yes, but it has only happened in the NHL.
in hockey.
So, I'm going to butcher this. Geordie Howe was inducted in 1972, came out of retirement in 79.
Holy shit! Well, how old was he when he retired?
I don't know.
That's crazy though. But he did it. But while we're on NHL news, go
Well, and
ahead.
that's not the only guy.
Oh,
so
what?
Guy Lafleur,
These are old motherfuckers' names. This happened like the
he was
70s.
inducted in 1988,
Oh, okay.
and his final season of play was 1990 and 90 through 91. So
But
one
he was
year.
inducted. He was inducted. Okay, yeah. Inducted,
And so
yeah.
the last person, and this is actually a big name, that Mario Lemieux.
I don't know.
He's a huge. I've heard that name. I've heard the Guy Lafleur name a little bit.
It sounds familiar, but I don't.
But
think
he was inducted in 1997. Final season, 2005.
Jesus Christ, bro.
So it happens.
Yeah, but in NHL.
Baseball player. Actually, this guy said there's a baseball player. Jim Palmer tried to make a comeback in '91, Oh, he was elected to the Hall of Fame in 1990. Was not inducted.
Gosh, yeah, elected. So, but either way, I mean, we're jumping all around, which is totally fine. But NHL news, congrats to Tampa Bay Lightning.
On their back-to-back
Back to fucking back.
Stanley Cup trophies. And I mean, now that they have 2 championships. And
But what are we calling it? Are we calling Tampa Bay? Or what's Tampa Bay calling themselves?
That's what I'm saying. After those 2 championships, the Buccaneers, the Rays even made the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
They running around. I saw an article. They're just going to start calling themselves Champa Bay. Because they just over here winning championships all over the damn place.
But either way, I've always been not a Tom Brady hater, but not a doubter. I guess I've been a pessimist about him and all that shit. But since he's left under Belichick's thumb, and we talked about this earlier, we got to touch on, and went to Tampa Bay. I wouldn't call it Tampa Bay. It's Tampa Bay. The Tampa Bay. I would say the Tampa Bay Gronkaneers. Gronk put up a touchdown or 2 in Super Bowl, but he didn't do enough through the season Super Bowl. It's Tampa Bay in my opinion. You notice that he went to Tampa Bay, the city in Florida, and all of a sudden all their teams started getting better. Like like LeBron going to LA to the Lakers, and all of a sudden the Dodgers win. You know, I mean the Kings have been hot. And now who's the team that's winning right now? We talked about earlier. Anyways, the Dodgers have won. The Lakers have won since LeBron's gone over there. But it's Tampa Bay, in my opinion.
Well, and that's the crazy thing is I saw this thing on Facebook, and it was like wherever he goes, things win championships.
That's
like
so
when
true.
he was born, because he's a Northern California kid.
He is.
When he was
right
born,
down the road from us.
like the Niners were winning championships. When he
went to Super Bowl with his dad. He's got fucking receipts. He's got a picture of him at the Super Bowl with his dad.
Yeah, and so when he went to Michigan to play, like some teams were winning over there. Like Michigan won a Final Four championship. And then when he got into New England, the Red Sox broke the curse.
They did. 80 years. 86
they
years.
won one in like 08, and then they won. There wasn't just one. They won.
I think it was 06, and then 2012.
They won one in 2018 too. I think was.
Did they?
It's something like that.
See, we haven't followed enough, so don't pick us apart. You know.
I'm just saying the list of, and well, obviously New England won a bunch of championships. But it literally the towns that he goes to,
cities or states,
they start winning.
They flourish.
And obviously, it has nothing to do with him being there. Like he's not the reason the Rays made it to the World Series.
Well, him being in Tampa Bay for the Buccaneers is a big reason because all of a sudden, all these big stars wanted to come and try to chase a ring. So
for the Buccaneers,
So he is the reason that they won. Not only his skill and his leadership, but the players who brought it. But you're right.
The Red Sox didn't win a World Series because Tom Brady was in New England.
Yeah.
The Rays didn't make it to a World Series because Tom Brady was in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, or
because that team, that Rays team, and that Lightning team had already been put together.
Absolutely, no, you're right. I'm just saying
it's just a very big coincidence
that I think he's a sorcerer, bro. I think he might be a fucking wizard, and he's aging backwards like Benjamin Button. He's got the fountain of youth. You know, when you watch the when I say Space Jam, it's the '96 Space Jam, the only Space Jam that should exist. When they're all defeated in the locker room at halftime, and Bugs got that generic water bottle and puts the fucking masking tape or whatever, the painter's tape, and writes, what is it, the stuff or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, this is MJ's stuff, like almost like it's the sweat, and they're like, let me get some. They start bulking up, and they're like, oh shit, and they go out and just fucking they bug out and win. And it was just water with something written. Yeah, same kind of concept.
That with Booker?
No,
he had a water bottle, I guess, that had like medical tape or whatever, and it just said "book" on the side of it, and everybody's like, "That's Kendall's bathwater that he's drinking to make him so good." And I was like, "God dang it, people! Like, what the fuck?"
The internet has no chill, and they are fucking 1 million and when it comes to competition. The internet the interwebs have no chill.
But I'm just in my head, I'm like, what pro athlete takes a water bottle, wraps that bitch in medical tape,
a young one,
and then writes "book" on the side? Is it a reference? Like, in my head, it's him trying to be funny and reference Space Jam. That's 100% what I think it is, because it's just a nostalgic thing for him and for all of us to see that. But for the internet just to fucking be like, yep, that's your girl's bathwater you're drinking, bro. That's your secret sauce. Like, what the fuck?
But if it does come from the Jenners or Kardashians, history will show that he's gonna end up fucking breaking his dick in game 3.
I mean, maybe Book's the curse. Maybe he's the kryptonite to that curse.
Like the Madden cover curse.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just crazy. But and Book he's been playing like crazy. I don't know. That's just wow, bro.
Well, man, speaking of him playing crazy, before the finals, he was third all time.
That's what we were talking about.
For
Points.
most points in your first playoff run.
Yeah.
The only people ahead of him were Trae Young was in second, and Trae Young's obviously Trae Young's playoff berth was over at the time.
Yeah.
And then Brent Berry, I believe,
For the Warriors.
when he played for the Warriors.
And mind you, freaking Book is still going.
Yeah, and this is pre the finals.
Pre-finals.
He had 432. It was Rick Barry, not Brent Barry.
Okay. Sorry,
Um,
Hall of Famer, no disrespect.
Trae Young at 461. It was this year, but Trae Young's ended early. And then Rick Barry had 522. So if we look at Devin Booker, his last 2 games.
And even if they sweep, there's 2 more games.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know what he scored the last 2 games. I'm going to try to pull it up real fast because I really want to know how close he is to his record.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he only needed, say, 100 points in these finals.
And he's young. Him and Trey both. They're going to be fighting. They're going to be fighting for that shit.
So, in even if they lost, even if they went 0-4, he only needed 100 points to set this record.
And he's probably got 70.
So,
At
Booker in game 1 had 42.
Okay.
So, that would put him at 474, which would put him above Trae Young. And then in game 2, he scored Devin Booker 44.
Oh, shit.
So that gives him 86 combined.
He needed 100.
He needed
So
100.
he's 14 more to break, or 15 to break the record. 14 to tie it.
Well, he didn't need exactly 100. That was a rough.
Oh,
estimate.
okay, gotcha.
He actually only needed 91.
So barring coming out and fucking or injuring himself in warm-ups, he's gonna beat that.
He will hold the record for most points in your first playoff run, which means
From the wild card in sense through the finals.
yeah.
Playoffs.
And that's the thing is
Playoffs?
playoffs. That means Trey will be third, and there's nothing Trey can do about it.
No, he's not. Yeah, that's his.
You only get one
cemented.
shot at
The-
setting this record.
The only thing that Trey can do is drop down on the list when a new face comes in
Yeah.
and breaks the record, or
Yeah.
knocks him out of third.
Yeah.
So, but with that, so back to Giannis and the Bucks and Booker and the Suns. Like we said, we would have never in a million years at the beginning of the season put the Suns to be in the finals, and now they're in the driver's seat.
We would have never put them in the finals, let alone say they would be up 2-0 on anybody from the East.
And they're. I mean, yes, both the games have been played in Phoenix, but it just if you watch the gameplay, just I don't know. It just seems like Giannis doesn't. He's not as hungry, you know, as he's a regular season monster. Then it comes postseason and he disappears almost like a Paul George. But I can't say so. Giannis doesn't disappear. Puts up big numbers, big stats, but can't hit a fucking free throw to save his life. But he's banging goddamn 3-pointers.
Yeah.
I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. He looks tired. I like Giannis.
Well, he got hurt, so is he 100% healthy?
You know he's not. You know he's not. They're always gonna lie. Like when they take a 6'8" person, they say they're 6'10" or 7-footer.
Oh, yeah.
The NBA lies, and you know, like no, he's not 100%, and that very well could be the factor. But at the same time, how many games did he miss in the last series? And his team stepped up and fucking dominated. Drew Holiday Game 1, I think, went 4 for 17. He's a fucking shooting guard. Shooting is in his title. He made 4 of 17 shots. And then Game 2, he hit 7 of 21. When shooting is in your title, or point is in your title, and you don't shoot well or you don't score points, what the fuck are you there for? Ben Simmons, same thing. We'll get to that. But go ahead.
One, Chris Middleton's on the same boat. He's just
No,
not
what-
showing up.
The sloppy passes. Talk about the coaches.
Well, yeah,
the difference between the coaches.
You had sent me that thing. Kendrick Perkins had said,
And Kendrick Perkins makes some outlandish fucking... His opinions are outlandish a lot of times. He knows his shit, but he's very, like... I don't know. And sometimes he's shut the fuck up, because it's borderline being a hater and shit-talking. With this country ass. This country ass. But he was dead ass on the money on this. Like, go ahead.
yeah, you had sent me that thing, and it was like, Perkins had said, listen to the two coaches, and you can see who's won the series
exact
already.
difference, yeah.
And I don't know if it was game 1, halftime, wherever this came from, but
it was after... Or game 1, but yes.
the Bucks coach was quoted, like not quoted, he literally was a video.
There's a video of him in the locker room.
And he says, play fast, play random, and have fun.
Play random.
Like, and then
And
you
have
and then
fun.
you go over to the Suns coach who's talking to DeAndre Ayton.
On the sideline, or, yeah.
He was on the bench, and he's saying, look, and he was telling him, like, what he needs to see on pick and rolls.
Configuring shit.
And it was very methodical and very, like,
Coach-like.
IQ.
Yes.
And
But that's why that coach won Coach of the Year.
then it goes back. DeAndre Ayton won Defensive Player of the Year, too, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I'll look at it. I believe so, though.
I think Giannis came in second to DeAndre Ayton. I could be wrong.
I'm going to Google it right now.
But it goes back to Kendrick Perkins, and he says, who tells their guys in the NBA Finals,
No, Rudy Gobert won Defensive Player of the Year.
did he win it again?
Yeah, he did.
God
21.
dang,
Yeah, I
dude.
know. I know.
That one might be winning it every year at this point. Like, just give him the trophy at the beginning of the year.
Right.
But he's like, why in the NBA Finals do you tell your guys to play random and have fun? Like, that's okay in the regular season.
Or preseason. Fuck regular. Preseason.
But, like, he's like,
Practice.
He said, when you're in the NBA Finals, it ain't about fun no more.
It's about getting the job done. You guys have grinded for 82 games in a regular season to get there to the playoffs. And then...
Playoffs?
And then, you know, could have fought fucking 4 to 7 games in each series. And there's, 3 playoff series to get to the finals? Am I wrong? 3?
Yeah,
Yeah.
3.
3, well, it depends on if you're high seed or low seed, too, though. But yeah, so think about that. Even if it's 4, that's 16 games to win everything, with the finals included.
Yeah.
If you go 7, 4 times 7, 28 games to win the whole fucking thing. I don't think it's ever happened. But still, don't fucking have fun. This is your job, your career, your legacy. What you fucking... The first time you picked up a basketball, probably, and started dribbling, and in your mind was to win, to hoist the NBA championship trophy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Steve O'Brien trophy.
this is Steve O'Brien. So, okay. So the Bill Russell was the MVP then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I get it mixed up sometimes.
I think it's Larry, not Steve
Larry-
O'Brien. Larry
Larry-
O'Brien.
Larry
trophy.
O'Brien.
That's
So, in your opinion, Mike, Big Mike, what do you see it going to with the series? Do you think the Bucks come back and win back to back in Milwaukee?
I don't think they take both.
I think they might take one. Might. I
I'm
think it's going
saying-
5 in the Suns' favor, and that's like I said, bitter as shit. But you know what? Hey, Chris Paul, you're a piece of shit personality on the court. But whatever you do works for you. I mean, we put Conor McGregor on a pedestal for his antics. And I'm starting to think maybe Chris Paul shit works for him, but no, he's a weasel in it. Like, at least Conor owns his shit.
Yeah.
He says it and he stands on it. He stands on a shield. Chris Paul says it and hides behind it. Anyways, but he's deserving as a player, possibly as a person outside the court, or off the court. You know?
Yeah, and I mean that's just people just getting people's heads, and it's tough when you see him do the stuff the way he does.
Yeah, he's a fucking weasel.
And I mean,
I don't.
it's
So
just tough.
So what do you see? What
well,
do you see?
I see 5. I would
You see
say 5.
in Suns' favor, obviously.
Yeah.
Barring some catastrophic injury to Booker and Paul, or some shit, or you know what I'm saying?
Well, and we all look at guys, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
We all look at guys like, you think of Larry Bird.
Yeah.
You don't think of shit talking.
Well, because you didn't see it.
I know, and it popped up in my head because I saw this article the other day.
He was a real piece of shit with shit talking.
I guess so. Supposedly, I don't remember who it was sitting on the bench. He was like a rookie. Larry Bird walks by in warm-ups and says, "I feel like 43 tonight."
I've seen all this shit too.
And the whole bench is just like, "What?" And Bird just like, "I feel like 43."
I don't think you repeated it, but yeah.
He scored 43.
He subbed himself out.
By the end of the third quarter, and once he hit 43, he never came back in.
Subbed himself out.
He said, "I'm feeling 43." Mind you, he only said this one time. But I'm just reiterating, because he said, "I'm feeling 43." He got exactly 43 and said, "You know what? That's all I'm feeling."
And his team won.
And, like, everybody's like, "Okay, whatever." Like, yeah. How much does that mind fuck you the next time you play him? Because all he has to do is walk by and be like, "I'm feeling 48."
Yeah.
And you're just going to be like, "This motherfucker's about to put up 48 on us."
Yeah.
And then just be like, "You know what?
Deuces.
Thank you very much. I'm going to sit on the bench for the rest of the motherfucking game."
MJ did that. I've heard stories of him doing the same exact thing. But the funny thing is, I heard a story. It's on YouTube. People can look it up. Where I don't know if it's a timeout, but he ended up telling the person guarding him exactly his
Bird
fucking
did,
move.
or?
Bird.
Okay.
Bird. Larry Bird. Birdman. The original Birdman. No tattoos. Ugly motherfucker. But he said he was
I mean,
gonna.
the new Birdman's not attractive either. That's the ugly
Yeah,
motherfucker,
yeah,
too.
you're right. But Larry Bird, in my opinion, besides Chris Middleton, they're like runner-up for ugliest player in play. But I can't think of other ugly players.
That's what we're doing now?
Chris Middleton looks like a fucking piranha. Great player, respect the fuck out of him.
Depends on the day, obviously.
He looks like a fucking piranha. But Larry Bird looks like he got bird shit on his face. Anyways, so he had mentioned that he was going to run baseline to sideline, hit a jumper or a fallback three-pointer, and fall into one of the opposing bench players' laps or some shit like that. And exactly what he said happened. Like, move for move. Came baseline, ran side, three-pointer, or corner, whatever, shot it, and got bumped. And when he came down, he turned around, and he was in that exact player's fucking lap. This shit's crazy. Larry Bird's like the only player I've ever seen, not the only, but one of the only players I've seen, where he says something, hits that shot or whatever he does, and the fucking opposing bench jumps up and cheers like, "Oh!"
Well, it's like with the three-point contest.
But that's a contest, though. But I'm talking about in-game where it's competitive.
Well, what I'm saying is, this motherfucker is so cocky, didn't even take off his warm-up jacket.
And what did he say when he went into the locker room with the other three-point contest?
He said, "Who's fighting for second?"
Yes.
He won, what was it, 3 in a row?
Yeah, he came out and dominated.
3 or 4 in a row, and then the next year, someone else won, and somebody, I don't think it was Bird, it might have been Bird, said there should be an asterisk because the only reason they won is because he decided not to participate
He sat it
anymore.
out. He sat it out.
I'm like, God. Like
This motherfucker grew up on a farm in Indiana?
Probably.
No, I've watched the movie and documentary. I'm pretty sure it's Indiana. The motherfucker grew up on a farm, working on tractors, like out in the
Tratters.
sticks, right?
Trying to get them tratters going.
And had a fucking he had a makeshift hoop and playing in the fucking gravel dirt driveway. Like, Jesus Christ, bro.
That was a different NBA though.
Yeah, that was broken. You fucking elbow and you don't. Yeah, we're not getting to that, LeBron, and all that shit. But so 5 game.
I'm saying 5.
Suns win in 5.
Suns in 5.
I agree.
Suns in 4, guy. I'm sorry, buddy. You're wrong. Suns in 5.
I think the Bucks win at least one in Milwaukee. At least
If
one.
you don't, if you come out like that, you get smacked on your own court for 2.
Yeah, I
I
don't
feel
know.
bad for you, son, because you got 99 problems.
And the Bucks
Devin
the Bucks
Booker's
ain't
won.
The Bucks ain't won. So, let's get into, since we backtracked from hockey, I want to say a RIP. I believe his name's Matisse. I'm not going to try to announce or pronounce or butcher his last name. Starts with a K. He was a goalie in the NHL for a Michigan team, I believe. On the 4th of July, well, on the 5th of July, I should say, I got news break on my phone. But it said that he had passed away in a firework accident with trauma to the chest. And as soon as I hear or see that, I think, oh shit, in California, illegal mortars, that me and Big Mike love.
Hey, well, plead the fifth.
Right?
Make sure you place them a trial. Plead the fifth.
Allegedly love to get in.
I love to watch them.
While I'm holding him and lighting him, allegedly. And so...
Allegedly. We're going to get shirts like Pat McAfee.
Yeah, Big and Bless, allegedly. But what I took from that when I seen it was that, okay, he had like a mortar or something, and it fell and went off into his chest, and the compression, even if there's no damage on the outside of the skin, can stop your heart and kill you. But then another report came out that said that he was in Detroit with some friends, and it was nighttime, and was in a hot tub, having like a hot tub, kick back with some friends, like people tend to do, and some fireworks fell over and started shooting towards the hot tub, and everybody jumped out and ran. And when he had gotten out and jumped and ran, he slipped on the cement and in turn fell and hit his head on the cement. They called the paramedics, and he was dead on the scene since. So, 24 years old, goalie, in the NHL, RIP Matisse. I'm sorry if I'm butchering or not pronouncing the name right. I'm not going to attempt the last name, but RIP Matisse. Freak accident on 4th of July, another athlete gone. But from that, let's get to, and not to be disrespectful to him or his family.
Let's talk about that's heavy on, as a parent, that's heavy on your heart.
At 24 years old. So his parents, I'm sure, I think it said he was from Slovenia. But still, that's, 24 years old is fucking young. My son's about to be 14.
That's what I'm saying.
10 years goes
fast.
fast.
As a parent, you look at it and you're just like, fuck. It can end quick.
Absolutely. And he was, living his best life. Probably had been training and working out in hockey and playing on teams since he was, over there probably since he was fucking 4 or 5. Probably skates at 2. That's second nature over there.
Yeah.
And, and he finally got where he wanted to be his goal, and then this happens. So, either way, RIP to him, condolences to his family, and, God rested it, I guess, right? But now we have to move on to MLB. What do you want to talk about, Ohtani or Pujols? Let's start with Pujols.
Yeah, Pujols, congratulations, Pujols.
Congratulations, Albert.
He is
Albert
only
Pujols.
one of 4 to have 6,000 total bases.
That's a crazy club to be in.
Yeah, it's Hank Aaron, Stan Masial. I'm probably butchering that last name. It's Masial.
Masial, I believe. I would say.
Then we have Willie Mays in 3rd.
Of course. Hank Aaron and Willie Mays. Yeah.
And then Albert Pujols.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because we all thought he was going to retire.
Yeah. That was some drama in Anaheim, or LA, I should say. That was some drama.
And now he's in the 6,000 club.
And he's with the Dodgers, no? Yeah, he's with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just went across town from...
Yes, he's at 6,001 at this point.
And can you...
I think Willie Mays is at 6,066. That's 3rd place.
So the viewers and listeners that don't understand what total bases means in MLB, can you indulge? Can you let them know?
Yeah, so if you get a single, that counts as 1 base.
You get a triple, it's 3.
If you get a triple, it's 3. Doubles, 2.
Home runs?
Home runs would be 4.
So you would get counted for that?
Yeah, you get 4.
Okay.
Yeah. Stolen bases, I don't know if those count as total bases, but in Albert Pujols' sense, I don't know if Homeboy has many stolen bases. And no disrespect to him, Albert Pujols just isn't that man. If anybody's seen that meme going around, you ain't that guy. You ain't that guy. He's not that guy. Albert Pujols.
He's like a big poppy.
Yeah, like they're just.
He's on the bigger side, as are we.
And I want to look at his career stolen bases because.
If he has one, I'll be surprised, to be honest.
Whoa!
Uh-oh. Oh, shit.
Triple digits.
Shut the front door. At least 100?
115.
But now, does that count as... It's got to count as total bases. I mean, a base is a base. If you had a home run, single, double, triple... Has he ever hit the full house? A single, triple, double, or single, double, triple, and home run?
I don't know if he's hit it for a cycle.
What's it called?
A cycle.
A cycle, okay. So, does a grand slam count as...
It'll be 4.
Okay, that's what I figured, but, you
Just
know...
like any home run.
Yeah.
This baseball reference site not letting me off. Well, cool. How many times I got hit back? But yeah, so he has 6,000. Obviously, he'll be here for this year.
With the Dodgers?
Yeah, so I don't know.
He's probably going to retire after this season, to be honest. I mean, I would think.
It wouldn't surprise me.
He was dead set retiring until the drama happened in, I say Anaheim, but I think they're the LA Angels, right? I mean, Cali, that was supposed to be here tonight, which will probably be on the next podcast. I believe he's an Angels fan, so we could talk about that then.
I don't know if Pujols has ever hit for a cycle.
I mean, the cycle's not a big deal, but there's probably... I'll look at how many players have actually hit cycles, because it's not a big number, you know?
I mean, it's a decent number.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to look it up right now.
Shohei Ohtani becomes the first...
I was just going to say, speaking of Angels, let's get to Shohei.
Becomes first Japanese-born player to hit for a cycle, June 13th, 2019.
Holy shit.
And, I mean, this man's out here breaking not just Japanese-born records at this point.
Yeah,
he is at the halfway point, mind you. We're at the All-Star break, which... for the MLB isn't the exact halfway point.
No,
it's actually a little bit more than halfway.
Yeah.
But not by much. It's considered the unofficial halfway point. Has more home runs in a season.
Mind you, the MLB season's 160 games, right?
62?
No, 82 for NBA. I think it's 160.
Is it 160?
It's either 160 or 162.
Yeah.
So it's 80 or 81 games. It would be the halfway point.
Yeah.
The doubleheaders and sometimes. Anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But Shohei, at the halfway point, has more home runs than any other Japanese-born player for a season.
In the history of the MLB.
In the history of the MLB. At the halfway point.
At the halfway. Just like, what's his name? That surpasses Dad's stat. Anyways, we talked about, if you guys want to...
Acuna Jr.
Yeah. You guys can go back to the other podcast.
If speaking of Acuna Jr., just real fast, he's the youngest, and I don't know if we said this last time, MLB All-Star to lead in votes. Not the youngest All-Star ever, but the youngest player to ever lead has the most votes to be an All-Star.
I don't think we covered that last.
And his dad, and this is, I know we didn't talk about this, his dad, it's like one of those things, it's like this dad is acting like proudest dad on the planet.
Yeah.
He's posting pictures of them when he took Junior to All-Star games, and he's like, I remember taking you to these games hoping that one day you would follow.
Ship paid off.
And he's like, but not only are you following, you're exceeding me already.
As a father ourselves,
yes.
That's all you ever hope for.
Yeah, and like when I read that, like it's just one of those things that you're just like, damn,
it's a
bro.
tearjerker. Like I don't ever want, like I don't give a fuck. No matter what we did, if we had the fucking, never will, the Joe Rogan. Hey, shout out. We'll never have the best podcast. So I mean, I guess opinion wise, ever. But if we did, you would never want your record or whatever broke for whatever you're doing by anybody. But now if it's your kid, that's what you strive for. You push for.
Yeah.
Is you want your kids to exceed you. So if we had any record for no matter what it is, I wouldn't want Joe Schmo that I've never met or I've met to break my record. But my kid, I want my kid to fucking break my record and shit on it, destroy it. You feel me?
Oh, 100%.
But
and that's just the thing is, that's what's happening right now. Right now, he's taking what his dad has instilled in him from whether it be watching his dad play,
that kid
training
was a fucking
with his dad.
sponge, soaked everything.
He did. He soaked everything up.
He was a bounty paper. The quicker
but-
picker upper.
To get back to what we were talking about with Shohei.
Yes, the big.
Shohei is. I mean, this man, he's got more home runs than any Japanese-born player, and he's halfway through the season.
Yeah.
There was a thing earlier that I saw. I don't think I shared it, but at this point, if Ohtani continues, he will finish the year with 60 home runs on the current pace. 60 home runs, 140 something RBIs, and almost 30 stolen bases
That's wild.
as a pitcher.
That's fucking crazy. And his pitching numbers are huge too.
His pitching numbers-
real quick, the cycle, there's been a total of 331 cycles. You're right. But this was posted before Shohei Ohtani got his cycle. So
In 2019?
I don't know when. Oh, he got it in 2019?
Yeah, June something 2019 was the first Japanese player to hit for a cycle.
Gotcha. Well, it might either way 331 or 332 cycles, which
Yeah.
is crazy. And for you viewers and listeners that don't understand what that means you have to, as a hitter, have a single, a double, a triple, and a home run in one game, and not stolen bases or anything like that. You have to hit and get to first base or get second. But how they give you triples and doubles is a little bit weird too. Like you get thrown out on second, but it'll be a single because you would have been safe on.
Yeah.
Or you can get thrown out on third, but it would be a
double.
double because you could have been the second or first.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, so go ahead.
What I was going to say is, looking at this is a comparison through 77 games against Shohei and the great Bambino Babe Ruth, who is literally people were saying, if you've ever thought about, hey, what would it be like to watch Babe Ruth play? We're watching it with Shohei.
Minus the cigar in the mouth.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly.
and the weight and
they look different, but their play is almost identical. Through 77 games, they've each played in as a pitcher 11 games.
Yeah.
Because you got to think about they got rest days and 55.
Yeah.
They mostly they don't pitch for 5 days usually.
But the crazy thing about that is back in Babe Ruth's day, it wasn't uncommon for a pitcher to be, to bat as much. Now it's very uncommon, unless because the National League, the pitchers have to bat, and American League they don't, right? Or vice versa.
Either way,
but
it's
either
one of the
way,
two.
it's not common for a pitcher to be a batter.
A pitcher normally in whatever conference they get 1 or 2, maybe 2,
Yeah.
because normally they'll get their 1,
Yeah.
and then at their second one, usually they get pinch hit for.
Yeah.
So they get 1 a day, one every 5 days.
So when Babe Ruth played, it was very common for pitchers had to hit, right? If I'm not mistaken. Nowadays,
it was more common.
No, more common. Nowadays, it's not. So if you think about it, Shohei Ohtani is his stats are, great. I don't know. It's great. Actually, if you think about it, that means Babe Ruth's hitting number. No, because pitchers don't bat as much now. So it would be Shohei.
And these numbers show that because in this
the comparison.
so they through 77 games, Ohtani has pitching wise has started 11 games.
Okay.
And Babe Ruth had started 10. He had pitched in 11 games.
Gotcha.
Only started 10 of them. He was
reliever.
brought
He
in
was a
for
reliever.
one.
Closer, yeah.
ERA, Ohtani has a 2.58, which means, for those people that don't know, every 9 innings, he would give up 2.5 runs. That's what ERA stands for.
You know what? I've heard it, but it didn't capture.
Yeah, so his earned run average is, so if he was to pitch 9 innings, on average, he would give up 2.5 runs.
And runs can be out the park or in park.
Yeah, it could be a home run or someone just crosses.
Is it RBI too? No, RBI doesn't count.
Yeah, any run that comes across while you're on the mound counts against your
so
ERA.
if I hit a single and have a runner on third,
Yep.
Okay, I didn't know that. No, that's just
the only reason it won't count to your ERA, say Shohei starts the game,
yeah,
and Shohei leaves that guy on second or third,
yeah,
and then the reliever comes in,
it counts on his.
it counts on Shohei's ERA.
Oh, does it?
If the guy's on second or third, because that's considered in scoring position.
He was more than halfway. God,
if
I
the
didn't
dude's
know
on
that.
first, then it's the reliever's ERA. If the
I
dude's
did-
on second and third, then it's the starter's ERA.
Big. I did not know that. That's crazy. I'm learning shit right now. Like
Yeah.
some of
And
our
so
viewers-
ERA is just your earned run average over 9.
And I didn't know that.
And so for Babe Ruth, his was a 3.56, which is still good.
Respectable.
Still really good for a starter.
If you played a whole 9 innings, it's yeah.
You're
It's an
essentially
average.
giving up 3 runs.
It's an average, yeah. 3.5.
And for those people that don't understand, back in Babe Ruth's days, games were kind of higher number-wise.
Yeah.
Because gloves were different. Like, I mean, sometimes, like, if you look at those old gloves,
Yeah.
they almost look like an oven.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like some MMA gloves or some shit.
Yeah, like
But
you're
it-
literally
it-
trying to catch a ball with your bare hand almost.
And at the same time, like cheating, you could get away with a lot more back then. Not saying that they did.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I'm not saying I've seen numbers or videos, but think about that. They don't. You can get away with fucking having something like they used to use razor blades or pins to scratch the ball and change.
Files were a big thing too, like
Fi-
fingernail
exact-
files.
nail files, yes.
And not even just all the way, that's recent too. There's been guys who busted with those recently.
But I'm saying back then you didn't have
Oh.
cameras. You
Oh,
didn't have.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you did, they were black and white and grainy. Like
The
you could get away with a lot more back then.
The crazy thing is the inning discrepancy.
Yeah.
Otani through 11 starts has pitched 59.1 innings.
Yeah.
Do you want to even guess Babe Ruth's
Innings that you
in
pitched
through 11 games?
at least 100.
91.
Damn.
So that means in 11 games, there's with no extra innings, there's 99 innings.
Jesus, that means he wasn't good with strikeouts.
Oh, he wasn't. Not in this comparison. He's not.
You said Otani pitched 59
59.
divided by 11, so he 5.36.
That's an average outing for a.
Yeah, no, I'm saying pitches in an inning, which is crazy.
Well, no, that's how many innings he played each game.
Sorry, gotcha.
And Otani is 82 strikeouts through those 11 games,
Yeah.
which is almost an 8 strikeout a game average,
Yeah, which is pretty fucking big.
with only 31 walks. In the same amount of time, in those 77, well, it's 11 games they played in as a pitcher, but 77 games for their team. Babe Ruth had 14 Ks to 47 walks.
14 knockout or strikeouts.
to 47
That's crazy.
base on balls. And so for hitting, this is where it kind of gets weird because Otani has 292 for his plate appearances. Babe Ruth has 316, so he has more plate appearances.
Yeah.
Otani's average is a 277, so for every 10 at bats, he gets about 3 hits.
Yeah.
And Babe Ruth is a 315, which means he gets about 3 hits for every 10 also.
Yeah.
It's just on the higher end of that. So Babe Ruth has more hits, more at bats. Otani, in that same span, had 25 homers
Yeah.
with a slugging percentage of 688.
What's the slugging percentage?
So slugging percentage, if you get a single, your slugging percentage will be lower. So if you
Gotcha.
get a double, it's higher.
Triple, home
So
run.
a 1,000 slugging percentage means
Be
you hit a
home runs.
homer every time.
And he's holding down the home runs right now.
And so he's at 688, and
Jesus.
and Babe Ruth had 15 home runs and a 619 slugging percentage.
Jesus Christ. That's wild. But, so, for the nerds, that's great. But for the common listeners or viewers, that's a lot of fucking
numbers.
algebra. So, but the meat and potatoes of the Shohei Ohtani,
The meat and
the All-Star,
potatoes is
the All-Star game.
yeah.
Cover that you brought that to my attention.
He's
You
the
can-
first not just Japanese because he's broke a bunch of those Hideki Matsui records for Japanese born players. He's the first player ever to be asked to play at the All-Star game as a position player
Which would be anything besides pitcher
and a pitcher.
and a pitcher.
And he's a hit in the home run derby.
home, and we talked about this last time, and I was like, could you imagine, is he in the home run derby? And you're like, I haven't heard anything about that. I'll look it up. I was like, imagine if he made that cycle, the full house would be 5, but a cycle of being in every fucking spot you can be nominated in the All-Star game. And hey, come to find out,
Well, the craziest
he's in
thing
everything.
I've
And
seen.
This is what we're confused about, right? Is the position pitcher.
Oh, so I've seen a lot. I was gonna say the craziest thing I've seen so far that drives me. AI is probably happy because practice.
Yeah.
But Shohei
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
take batting practice. Period.
When you're a fucking android, you don't need to practice.
Period. Doesn't take batting practice. I also saw something that said when he first got into the league, he's just a high school hitter and he's never going to be able to hit MLB pitches.
And
Yeah.
whoever wrote that is eating their words.
Right.
Probably fired or retired.
But there's a lot of questions going around now that he's been nominated for both. Does he count as two people on the roster?
Because you can only have a certain amount of pitchers and position players,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, so does he count as two people? Like one pitcher and one position player?
And so is he only going to pitch 3 innings and then play, say, shortstop or outfield? And what position would he play?
Yeah. And people have a lot of questions, and to be honest, I don't know if the MLB has answers.
Yeah.
Because it's never happened.
They don't have answers for him. Was there All-Star games when Babe Ruth played?
I believe so.
I don't know. That
1919? I don't know. I was
yeah,
wrong.
that's a hard. I hope not. Shit, that's a hard one. But Shohei is the second coming of fucking Babe Ruth.
Hey, for those
Jesus
of you,
Christ.
for those of you that believe in like reincarnation and shit, hey, bro, Babe Ruth's back.
I swear to God, he picks up a fucking cigar.
I don't believe in
I'm
reincarnation.
going Buddhist.
I'm gonna say this for everybody. I don't believe in reincarnation.
Neither do I.
But
He picks up a cigar and points to this bat and then knocks it that way. I'm going Buddhist.
hey, bro, I'm gonna legit go a monk, so I don't have to watch no more TV. I don't deal with none of that bullshit.
Right. You know we can't live without sports, motherfucker.
But I'm just saying, like, at this
Shit.
point, like, man, you said Tom Brady's a fucking witchcraft. Hey, there's some
ages
wild shit going on.
backwards.
Hey, TB12, let me get some of that.
Right? No shit.
I need enough money. We need to be popping, so I have enough money to get on that TB12
Right?
program.
And we got some ideas for other shows sometime. But since we're bouncing around like a fucking trampoline, we got to talk about Wilder versus Fury. Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury, Gypsy King. The third fight. Honestly.
Or third fight, question mark?
Oh, shit. Oh,
third
you're
fight,
right.
question mark?
Because I'm throwing up air quotes. Tyson Fury has COVID. And the only.
Does he have COVID or
No, the report I seen.
COVID may be in his camp somewhere?
The last report I seen is saying, and quote unquote, Tyson Fury has COVID. But does he really? Or is this another fucking way to duck Deontay Wilder? Deontay Wilder, if you don't know, his story is, I think 6'8". He's like the size, if not bigger than LeBron. He's like LeBron, a black dude from Alabama, country guy. He made NCAA scholarship for basketball, and while playing, his daughter was born, and she had a disability. I don't know if it was. I don't remember if it was like cerebral palsy or something. I don't know. Okay, I can't remember. So she had a lot of medical bills piling up, and so he dropped out of high school and stopped playing NCAA basketball and started driving a truck for, I think, Pepsi to, be able to make money.
Yeah, Pepsi or Coke or whatever.
It was Pepsi. Started doing that to make money because, as we all know, back then, NCAA players weren't legally allowed to get paid. Now they can.
Now they're scooping them up like wildfire.
After we recorded our last podcast last week, the next day, all of a sudden there was reports of hella NCAA players getting contracts.
I saw the Arkansas offensive line all got endorsements from the same barbecue joint.
I was saying buffet, but
The same barbecue joint.
Damn.
Like a local barbecue joint. Although not just one dude. This barbecue joint said, I'm going to sponsor the whole starting offensive line. 5 big motherfuckers coming down to this barbecue place. they about to make this barbecue place broke. If there's any free food involved in this endorsement deal, they fucked up. On facts. Like, no cap, whatever you want to say, they'd be bussin'. These motherfuckers straight are going to make this place broke if there's any free food involved.
Bankrupt this place.
If there's any free food involved.
It's not just the 5 starters. You got to sponsor. Well,
no, they only sponsor the starting line.
Jesus. And these to be offensive line for a fucking powerhouse college or NFL,
especially like Arkansas is like a power
in its
team.
country, it's deep south. You have to be at least 6'4", 6'5", and fucking close to 300.
Yeah, these are
that's
big dudes.
wild. Hey, you know what? Those boys will be eating good, but the problem is, are the coach getting involved? Be like, look, motherfucker, like you're too fat and slow now. Like you got a backpack. You feel me?
Well, I mean, pro sports does that. People get fined
You
for being
have to.
overweight.
You're not going to get. Well, I don't know. Are the teams going to be able to fine?
That's it. I never thought about that question until
That's crazy. Until you like see that our light bulbs went off at the same time. Like they almost.
Are they going to be able to fine now that kids have money?
Ooh. But not
this
all
is
kids are going to have money.
This is a huge rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm.
This whole making money to play shit. And someone said it.
How many of these players do you think are going to get some money from endorsements, like big name players? Like if Trevor Lawrence was able to get sponsored, or while he was playing, and be like Deion Sanders at the draft. Shit, look at me. Fuck y'all. Like AB is in the NFL.
Yeah. Well,
shit, I don't need y'all.
There was someone. It fucks me up that I don't remember. Some NFL.
Find it and I'll
some NFL player said that he's happy more for, not for the stars, not for the guys who already, and for some of you that don't know, these guys who are like stars and get full ride scholarships, they actually, and I've talked to some people I know that have played college sports, they actually do get stipends.
Yeah.
For food and housing and gas and stuff. Like, they get stipends. They can't blow it on whatever they want.
Yeah.
Like they can with this endorsement.
Yeah.
But they get stipends for food, for gas, for those, because of what they are.
Mm-hmm.
But
this,
this NFL player said that he's more happy for these guys who aren't on scholarship.
I would think the same thing.
Because these walk-on guys who are literally waking up in the morning at 6 a.m. to go to first weight training or for whatever the first practice is.
Right into the free food.
And then they're trying to stop by the cafeteria to grab that food that comes in there with their tuition, that free, probably not great cafeteria food. It's probably okay.
Yeah. Like
when you're at bigger colleges, it's probably okay.
Bigger colleges.
But it's still buffet style food.
Yeah, if that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so they grab that, and then they got to run to class, and then they got to do this, and then they got meetings, and then they got actual practice.
Yeah, but
and then they have to hit their job at 8 o'clock at night until 1, 2 a.m.
Whatever, yeah. Well, these big name players get a tutor that's funded through the college, and let's be real. If you're that big of a name, you get passed through even if you're failing by the teachers. A lot of times.
You can. But my point is, these guys are getting off work at 2 a.m. and having to be beat back up in the weight room at 6 a.m.
Yep.
And this is what the NFL player was saying. It gives these guys an opportunity to go out into these communities. And even if it's a small endorsement where it's like, hey, we'll pay your rent each month if you live off campus, like $400. That takes that much stress off these
100%.
Walk-ons and these guys who don't
100%.
have full scholarships.
Yeah, I agree. That's cool.
And that's what this. I will look it up. I'm gonna try to figure it out by the next podcast because I really want to give dude credit.
Yeah, look at him now. Shit.
But
find that shit. But no,
yeah, he said it's literally he's more excited for guys without scholarships and walk-ons because it gives them an opportunity to not have to work till 2 a.m.
have at least one bill paid. You know, they can relax that peace of mind for at least a little bit. You know, but that's just crazy. But going back to the Wilder and Fury, is I know there's a lot of speculation and conspiracy theories and this, that, and the third. In my opinion, the first fight between Deontay Wilder, and to his backstory, he started driving a truck for, I believe, Pepsi, and would show up at the gym, a boxing gym in I think Mobile, Alabama, and in this personal vehicle, and sleep out front until it would open, and would try to go in and train because he's an athlete. He needed something to train and look forward to. And the trainer that was there told him he wouldn't accept him unless he was for real, for real. And Deontay said, I am for real. He ended up promising his 1 or 2 year old daughter at the time that within a year he would be a champion, hold a belt. I don't know all the belts, but he trained his dick off, slept in the truck out front for a couple hours so the gym opened, and did what he said. And the promise that he made his daughter, actually, he brought to fruition and became a belt holder, champion. And he's just a grinder. He won before he fought Fury. I think he had like 39 fights and had won 38 by knockout and was undefeated. He was like 39-0 or 40-0 or some shit, some big number. Don't quote me, but only one hadn't been by knockout. So he gets an aging Fury who's a little bit. I think Deontay's 6'6". Tyson Fury is older, taller, heavier. They fight the first time. The 11 Wilder. It's a pretty close match. Wilder knocks him out. Literally, even Tyson Fury's fight said he was knocked out unconscious, and as soon as he flat back on the canvas, he snapped to and his eyes open. But the ref didn't start, and you can see this. You can go look up the videos and count your fucking self. He didn't start counting until like 2 seconds after he was down on the canvas when he should have. If he would have counted, it was a 10 count, Big?
Yeah.
If he would have counted when he should have started, Wilder wouldn't have been up, or I'm sorry, Tyson Fury wouldn't have gotten and gathered till about 9-10 seconds, and it would have been TKO. Well, he flat backed and was down, and the ref didn't start counting until like a minute or a second and a half to 2 seconds after he was supposed to. So that gave Tyson Fury the ability to get up and still fight. And then Tyson Fury fought his ass off. He's a fighter, the Gypsy King, and they ended up calling it a fucking draw. Don't get it, whatever, it is what it is. The second fight, we all know what happened. Fury whipped fucking Deontay Wilder's ass, blew out his eardrum, which knocked off his equilibrium, and that was like by round 6 or 7, Deontay Wilder's team threw in the towel. But in retrospect, going back, you can look it up on YouTube or Google it, there's a lot of speculation that Tyson Fury cheated, and he's been known in his past to be a cheater. He calls himself the Gypsy King, and if the stereotype on gypsies is cheaters, hustlers, that shit, But if you look at pictures or videos, when he's swinging, you can see his fist in the glove and the top of his glove where the padding should be, and moving forward, falling back, like almost if you put say
a
trash bag out the window, and the wind catches it and it pushes it back. The fucking top of his glove is folding backwards because he's swinging so fast and hard. And they're saying, as a lot of people, so many people are saying that he took the padding. His team took the padding, somehow doctor's glove took the padding out of the knuckle area. So when he was hitting Wilder, it was basically bare fist with some cloth, like fabric over it.
Which to me is crazy because I've watched and I'm not saying they haven't.
Watch the videos.
I'm not saying they don't, but I'm just saying
no.
from the way that they have to be inspected, because like if me and you went to a sanctioned boxing match,
whenever they check him at the ring.
No. What I'm saying is, you get to pick my gloves.
Yeah.
And then I get to pick your gloves. And then you have to get your hands taped.
With an official there.
Not just with an official, but with someone from the opposing team in the room also.
But they're saying between taping.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, the amount, and then when they put the gloves on, underneath the tape is signed by the official. And then they put the gloves on, and it gets taped again, and it's signed again by the official. And then from the point that glove is put on, that person, whether it's Deontay Wilder or Fury or whoever, they cannot leave the sight of an official. That's the rules.
Yeah.
So
they're talking about ringside, like they're. I don't. Well, that's what I'm guessing is what they're talking about.
well, that's what. There's no way. I'm not saying they didn't mess with him, but I'm saying there's no way ringside they got away with messing with him.
Yeah.
How many cameras are there? What I'm saying is there has to be.
That's just one picture. He's not hitting. Look, you can't measure him like that, bro. Especially with the glove on, with that much tape.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying
There's
is
way more, but yeah.
Is there some collusion?
A bigger conspiracy?
I'm not saying there is. I'm just
No, I'm
playing
saying,
devil's
yeah, no, I
advocate
see-
here
I see
because I
what you're
know
saying.
how much goes into making sure there's no manipulation.
No, I get it. I get what you're saying. But, I mean, like I said, I'm just playing devil's advocate for what thousands of people are saying.
Well, and
You
the
know?
thing is, like, boxing has been known for.
Look at that. His knuckles pressing through where all the padding would be. Like, look, you're looking at yourself.
Yeah.
So,
But I'm just saying, like, in. Just. Boxing has been known for
it's
a
a
long
rigged sport.
time
It's a
to
rigged
have
sport.
a lot of rigged shit going on.
Fuck yeah, it's corrupt as shit.
But I'm just saying, at this point, in like we say with baseball, you shouldn't be able to file a baseball with how much cameras are on shit.
100%.
Yeah. And so at this point, what I'm saying with boxing is, how are they getting away with?
Unless there's collusion.
That's what I'm saying. There has to be some money exchanging hands or something.
I agree. And so what I'm saying though is, I mean, collusion or whatever is Tyson Fury knew that he should have lost that first fight. Came back knowing fucking Deontay Wilder's punching power because he is a fucking knockout artist and knew that coming back that he wasn't gonna be able to win just a fair one. So he tampered with shit, or somebody in his camp tampered with shit. He knew about it.
But it's like Brady saying he didn't know the balls were deflated.
Yeah, exactly.
You've been around long enough. When you punch with a normal, I could tell you if I was punching with a
Fury
normal.
100% knows.
So he can't pull the "I didn't know" card.
Exactly.
Like, same thing I say about Tom Brady. You can't say you didn't know the balls were
Well,
deflated.
he broke his phone too. Like when they won his phone,
Well, this is my.
he
Even
broke that shit.
off all that, but
Yeah,
I'm saying
yeah.
when you felt as many footballs as Tom Brady's felt.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
you,
exactly.
like, you should be able to be like, this ball's too light, this ball's too heavy.
Yeah.
Like I should literally be able, like, if we had Deshaun fucking Watson in this room with us right now,
Yeah.
I should, if I had a bag full of balls that were overinflated, underinflated, or like right where he liked them, I should be able to randomly grab them and throw one to him,
Because
and instinctively.
he likes his balls in his massage service hands.
Ooh.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. But,
Where the fuck is the news on that? We have to address that next podcast. Anyways.
there hasn't been a ton of news on it.
No, there hasn't. So, Yeah,
But
we-
he should be able to grab that football and be like, too much air.
not NFL centers.
Not enough air.
Yeah, 100%.
Just where I like it.
Mm-hmm.
And for Tom Brady to think that we're all stupid and naive, where he can be like, I didn't notice,
Yeah.
under a Belichick regime,
Yeah.
Where-
knowing that he.
where
does-
Tom Brady can't even say anything out of pocket,
Mhm.
you're telling me that nobody in that organization but the ball kid knew?
Yeah. But anyways,
That's what I'm saying. So for if
Tyson
it comes
Fury
down,
cheated.
he cheated.
Well,
And he tries to pull the "I didn't know" card.
that's long gone. That was the last fight, and
Yeah.
and Tyson Fury ended up fucking knocking, like, blew Deontay's eardrum out, which fucked up his equilibrium and whatever. And
Oh, I
and-
can
and-
only imagine what it feels like.
Fucking
like,
wild.
I've been ear-holed and it fucking sucks.
yeah, and it's fucking.
but I've never had a.
Wilder's team threw the white towel. Well, his coach threw the white towel. And it literally threw the towel in the ring. Literally. Like, took the towel and threw it in, and Wilder didn't like it, but he was getting fucked up. But a lot of it goes back to, there's a lot of theories, and there's, in my opinion, there's evidence that Fury's gloves were doctored. He knew that Wilder probably would get the upper hand and cheated. But, so, after that, in their contract, there is a third fight clause, a rematch, that if Deontay Wilder wants to pick it up, Tyson Fury cannot fight another fight until he gives Deontay Wilder his third fight, a rematch, because it was a draw. Then it was Fury forfeited, whatever, through the talent. His team did. Wilder lost, and he wanted a real fair one. Fury ducked and ducked and dodged and ducked, and wanted to
Did
fight.
you watch that movie Dodgeball?
Right, he wanted to fight Anthony Joshua in England, where he's from, for the UK, for another belt, since he just won this one, and I air quote won from Deontay Wilder. He won because there's WBC, there's other whatever. I can't keep up with them. There's 6 different ones. If you want to be the unanimous, I think there's 6. Well, he wanted the other one from Anthony Joshua in the UK, so he was ducking and dodging Wilder's team for that rematch. And to the point that Wilder had to hire an attorney that specializes in this and take Fury to arbitration, where the judge said, hey, the contract says, it's night and day, says you owe him a rematch. There's a rematch or you lose everything. You lose your license, all that shit. And now the rematch, as they've been training for it, it's supposed to be not Saturday tomorrow, we're recording on Friday, next Saturday on the 24th, and then
Next Saturday is not even the 24th.
Oh, really?
No, next Saturday is the 18th.
So maybe, okay, so
2 Saturdays from...
2 Saturdays, yeah. I think it's the 24th is when the fight's supposed to happen, and all of a sudden Tyson Fury gets COVID. Yes, could he have gotten COVID? Absolutely. But it just kind of fits the narrative
Well, the thing
with
is,
Fury ducking and dodging. Now that fight's not going to happen.
if it is the 24th, what is COVID stopping?
Well, Chris Paul, same thing. He missed a game after a 14-day span.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So you're supposed... It's technically, they say 10 days now, is it?
Chris Paul missed the first game of the last series or this or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like...
I don't know either. It is what
with
it
it
is.
being 2 weeks out...
Well, they're saying that the 24th is probably not going to happen. But
They said, it, from what I read, it's not. It's going to get pushed all the way to September.
that's bullshit. And I think he's dodging. And there's been hella fucking videos and shit showing Tyson Fury after he beat Deontay Wilder, again, beat, air quotes. All he's been doing is partying. Not training. All that bullshit. And the thing is, Tyson Fury was a fucking champion boxer in UK for so long, and then he got into cocaine and hookers or strippers and all this shit, and he completely...
Shit, bro!
He went up to like
That's
almost
the boy.
400 fucking pounds and just didn't box and yada yada, lost his license, and then all of a sudden one day he was like, I need to get back in shape, and he did, and I respect that. And now he's back, and his license back, and all this bullshit. But he's got a fucking history of partying and drugs, and they're saying that's what he's doing again now.
I mean,
I don't know if that's
allegedly, I have the same thing.
Allegedly, the past us had the same thing. Minus hookers and... No, I can't say strippers. Minus hookers.
Oh, yeah,
We allegedly had the same kind of past.
I would never pay for it.
No, but you did get your booty hole spanked up. Not booty hole. You get your ass whipped.
But, well, I'm just saying, I would never pay for sex.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%. If you gotta pay for it, you shouldn't be... fuck that. But... You got your ass whipped by some strippers one night.
Facts? That's not even allegedly.
That was like, it wasn't even kinky. You got fucked up. They fucked you up in a fucking house full of people. That somebody else paid for you to get the shit beat out of you by strippers. And we laughed. And we all laughed.
And that was not allegedly.
And I think you came twice.
Twice.
Anyways, with that being said, I think we've covered, unless you want to go over the Olympic medal,
the only thing I want to touch on Olympics, and this is only because I'm a Kobe fan, is Jason Tatum was given Kobe's number 10 in the Olympics.
Mind you, players don't get to choose their numbers.
Yeah, and which I find kind of weird.
Me too. That's why I never understood why Michael Jordan was number 9 when he always played 23 and then played 45, and then there was that one game that his jersey got stolen. And I can't remember the number he had been given. Like, they even went and checked the fans. They were down in, like, Atlanta. Somebody stole his jersey from the opposing team. And they didn't have a backup jersey. I don't understand why. And they went to fans in the stands that had Michael Jordan jerseys. were like, hey, what size is this? What size? What size? None of them had the size that would fit Michael Jordan. Imagine that. You have an MJ jersey. They're like, hey, we need to use that.
Might be too damn big
Or
for
pay
him,
you.
too.
Well, no. But if it was the right size,
Yeah.
well, I don't know if they were offering to pay them and keep it, or hey, let us use it and give it back, or he'll autograph and give it back. Bro, think about that. If you had the jersey and got it back and had him autograph that shit, oh, bro, priceless.
Fact.
Especially for the story behind it. They ended up finding that fucking jersey in the opponent's locker room, like a month later or some shit, stored in the ceiling tiles. Someone stole his shit, put it in the ceiling tiles, and left it there. Maintenance found it, the Bulls jersey, but I can't remember the number he had to wear. I don't know if it was like 17 or 34. Couldn't be 33. That's Scottie Pippen. But anyways, that's the point of it. Sorry, back to what you were saying. I never understood why Jordan wore 9 in the Olympics when he was 23 or 40.
Yeah, and
Or
they
23 and 45. Sorry, go ahead.
they just so they don't get to pick, and I guess Jason Tatum drew the straw of getting Kobe's Olympic number 10, and Jason Tatum said, since this is the first Olympics since the passing of Kobe, he's gonna do them right. And so, in my mind, we're about to see Jason Tatum take on a whole nother persona, because if you wear that number and then say you about to do it right for Kobe, you have to just ball out.
He fucking better. If not, he's gonna remember as a fucking bum.
And the thing is, like, there's people coming out saying that the USA should retire 10, blah 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 this, and
Do they really put, like, how do they pick the numbers then?
I don't know.
Is
I
it like a
honestly have
fucking numbers in
never
a hat?
Honestly, don't. I've never looked into it. I mean, is it like, you remember in middle school when like the number dictated the size of the jersey?
Yeah.
Like for us bigger guys, taller, wider, whatever. If you were playing basketball,
He has a bigger number.
you couldn't have a single digit number
No, it had to be
in middle
higher.
school
Yeah.
because the single digit numbers were the smalls and the mediums, and if you needed a large or an extra large,
You look at 44 to
you
fucking
were-
98.
I mean, I wore 50 a lot, which in my day was cool because I was like, man, I'm the next Tyler Hansbrough.
he stood up next 50 Cent. No playing.
No, in my head, I was always, because I was a big Tyler Hansbrough fan in college.
Gotcha.
I was like, I'll wear 50. This motherfucker wore 50. He out here breaking, he's getting his nose broken, still playing.
Yeah.
But, so I just want to touch on and say, hey, good luck, Jason Tatum. But I'm going to tell you this, you fuck it up,
We're all watching.
we all watching, fool. Especially, like, if you would have just got number 10 and slid under the radar, didn't say nothing about it,
Yeah. You made it a point.
you
Yeah.
made it a point to say that you're going to do it right for Kobe.
But my thing also is the players, like, okay, Jordan he only played 1 year in the Olympics?
So players that have played back-to-back years, do they keep that number?
Yeah, you get the same number.
Okay. I didn't know.
Yeah, Kobe's played in 2 or 3 Olympics.
Yeah, but they weren't back to, like, there was a space in between 1 or 2, right?
Yeah, but each year, every time he played with the Olympics, he got 10.
Gotcha. That
and,
never made sense to me why their numbers were so much different from their actual playing numbers.
And on that
that
note,
makes sense now.
I saw also in this thread that I was reading, it said that we need more players in this day and age who have the same passion for the Olympics like Kobe did.
Yeah, 100%.
Because all you see these pictures, and every picture he takes when he's celebrating, it's not him. He
Yeah.
literally pulls his jersey up and like almost covers his own face with the USA.
Yep.
And
Gotta
however
be
you
proud
feel,
American.
however you feel about what's going on in our fucking country,
Yeah, whether you're a leftist or rightist, a fucking independent, Republican, Democrat, it doesn't fucking matter.
and that's one thing Kobe he was about.
United everybody.
And I mean, that's just how we need to get. But that was
100%.
one thing that somebody said, is that we need more guys like Kobe, whether it be white, black, Asian,
Yeah.
African American,
Doesn't
whatever you want
matter.
to call them, whatever you want to call everybody. If you want to call your Asians, your Indians, your Native Americans, your indigenous people,
Punjabis,
whatever.
Yeah.
Like, if you're born American and you're willing to go represent the red, white, and blue in the Olympics,
Yep.
you need to be willing to represent the USA.
Absolutely.
You shouldn't be going there and then saying fuck the country.
Yeah.
And that was this guy's whole point, and I was like, makes sense.
I can understand, depending on what president you're for, whether you're a Biden supporter or a Trump supporter.
I mean, you don't have to go see
or
the president.
Barack. Yeah, no matter what, you're Republican, Democrat, you can be fucked. The president's still going to be the president, even if it sucks, but it can be, you don't agree or fuck that person, but it's our country.
Well, in my opinion, let's say I win never going to happen, but I win a championship, and whoever's the president's like, hey, we're inviting your team to win you won this championship, blah, blah. I don't care if I dislike the president or not. I'm going just for the story to say, hey, I got to meet the president, and at least...
This guy was a bitch, but I still was able to go there. Tell him that.
Well, and this thing is, like, if I go there, and let's say it's Trump, or it's Biden, or whatever, and I don't agree...
Barack, yeah.
And I go and I'm like, hey, Mr. President, I respect, because I don't care who you are.
You're in office.
That office
it's
deserves
historic.
some kind of respect.
100%.
Whether you're an idiot or not. And a lot of us, we judge.
Not saying Trump was an idiot.
No.
Not.
I mean, if we're getting down brass tacks, I'm not trying to get super political.
Yeah, we're not getting political.
We
on this podcast.
Me, I just vote. I'm going to vote the lesser of two evils, in my opinion.
Or independent. Whoever is better for the job that,
Yeah, exactly. And so we really
whichever.
know, most of us know independent's never winning.
Mm-hmm.
But, so you vote the lesser of two evils. Whatever.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, let's say I voted one way, dude was in. At least I can say, hey, look, I met him.
Yeah.
And I can be like, hey, look, you a bitch. Or, hey, I don't like you. But in the moment, I'm not going to do that.
You get to meet him and say, okay, I met him, and he's a good person to meet. Like,
because just because you're a shitty president doesn't mean you're a bad person.
I don't agree with your beliefs, but you're actually a really cool person.
Yeah.
Or I followed you, voted for you, was on track with everything you said, and then I met you, and you're a piece of shit. Then it goes to any president. We're not picking sides here.
That's what I'm saying. So me personally, and maybe it's different for these guys who've been to multiple of them.
Yeah.
But
or a superstar fucking.
If I won a championship, just meeting the president, I think would be a cool story to be able to tell your kids.
I don't think you'd be meeting the president, just being able to go to the White House.
And you don't get the normal tour when you're there.
But
you
this
get
is the
VIP
thing.
kind
As
of
a fat motherfucker, I mean, well, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I would have went to Trump, only because all you had was fucking stale McDonald's. I want the fucking filet mignon lobster tail that's always been there, the 7-course meal. And it's not against Trump. It's not, well, I guess it kind of might
I'm not
be,
a huge McDonald's fan in general.
Like, every fucking president had, like, a fucking gourmet chef and a 7-course meal for these athletes. I mean, mind you, these are all millionaires. Even if they're fucking bottom feeders, they're still at least a million in the bank account. And then you go to Trump, and he's got McDonald's. McDonald's doesn't even... If you have to drive from McDonald's to home and eat it at home, the fries are already stale and bad.
Facts.
So, nothing against Trump. Don't get it fucked up. It's not political. It's a choice of food.
That's not.
I'm on the bigger side.
That's not political.
No.
That's just fatty being real about food. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
when you go to the White House and for a championship ceremony, and you're like, oh shit, lobster tail, filet mignon. There's Big Macs and cold fries. Yeah,
if they roll out McDoubles and McChickens, and I gotta make my own McGangbang right there, I'm out, bro. I can drive down to the fucking McD's.
Oh, don't get it twisted. I'm taking some with me, but I'm leaving.
Like, I can have that shit DoorDash to my house for $30.
Hey, I'm taking it with me. I'm fucking it up
because I'm hungry.
I'm fucking it up in the fucking SUV that chauffeured me there.
I'll go sit in that bitch while the homies be eating. I'll be like, fuck this place. I'm out.
But at least, man, respect my gangster. Give me some good food. Fuck, give me a Bud Light and fucking a ribeye. Like, I'm not that hard to fucking entertain. Shit. But anyways, I think that's our time tonight. What do you think, Vic?
Yeah, man, we rolling up almost on 2 hours again.
Damn it.
We chilling.
Hey, you know what? You get these us brothers, not as in, descent, but brothers as in like family, together. And with some drinks, obviously, you've been hearing the top spot on mine.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. I'm on that triple IPA tonight.
Oh, this motherfucker, 11%.
11% alcohol in this beer.
Come on. Like, you're gonna choke trying to swallow that shit. That's ridiculous, bro. I got an 18 pack and I probably drank 12 by now, and you've probably drank 2.5 of those.
This is the third one.
Third one,
this
and
will
we're
be
at the
third
same
one.
level. You know, I get it. I'm a cheap date with Bud Light. Well, not cheap. I drink a lot, but you drink 3 of those, and I drink, say, a 12 pack of this, and we're at that same level. Like, I'm looking at you,
Well, what's that
guys.
like?
Your hair is like it's
Yeah.
4.5%.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So it takes almost 3 of those, just under 3,
2. About 2.
2.5.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, that's just wild. But I think we've covered everything we need to cover. Yeah, we're getting smashed. Love y'all. Remember to subscribe. Please just listen. Fuck. Just we need views. We need the algorithm to go up. We need sponsors. We need to be able to put back more into this. You know what I'm saying? So you guys don't hear the portable AC unit in here. We need to build our shit up. Anyways, listen, view, subscribe, comment, share, turn the notifications on.
Hey, watch it with the homies.
For
I mean,
real.
y'all do. Just listen to it when you ride in the fucking town. Like,
Shit, turn your phone on while you're in the shower. Fuck it, don't even listen to it. Turn it on and put your phone on the charger. Walk away, but
for real, put all 9 of them now tomorrow when this bitch drops.
Holy shit.
Put all 9 of them in a playlist on YouTube and just run that bitch on your fucking phone while you're fucking your girlfriend.
Taking a shit. I mean, I don't.
Whatever you gotta do.
Yeah, just turn the volume down. You feel me?
I mean, leave it up if you want. It's on you.
Should be calling us daddy. Anyways, we love each and every one of you. To our fans in Germany, we salute you. Not in the way that most people think, but yeah, y'all be safe and be easy. Till next time. Peace.